So good morning. good, good afternoon. I don't know why I said good morning, but it's almost 6 o'clock really, and I've just fed my chickens their treat. And what I thought I'd do, I did a tour of my garden, but I thought I'd just show you some of what I see from my living room window that's right there. Of course, the camera is not aimed how I see, but I just thought I'd show you. The snowball bush is about done, but if you notice, the rose is really taken over the show. And it just does that a couple of times. It's not a continuous bloomer, but I'll show you what I really love to see. When the petals come down, I don't know if you can see all the petals on the ground over there, but pretty soon we'll see petals. Oh, I've got some wilty flowers. Huh. Okay. This is Hydrangea Alley, and I love it when the petals come down on the ground. And this is another area that I really like. And I guess I'm showing you this because the garden gives us food, but you have to have food for the soul to really survive, I think. And so what I see out my living room window helps me do that. I'm going to just check these little ones that I see wilting here before we go on. I don't know if they got too much water or not enough. I don't know why. I'm not sure. I'll check them out better. That one's okay for water, I think. Anyway, oh, and my geranium, I see part of that, the other part in my living room, but this is the part I see out here. And then there's the ivy on the shop. And that ivy started growing when we first got here, and we decided, no, we didn't want that. So we tried to discourage it, and then we decided, yes, we wanted it. And so it's really taking over. And believe it or not, it's even in the shop. And Tom's decided to let it go along. He's cut some of it back, but not all of it. And then I see my poppies and see they're going to bed now. But they're bright and cheery most of the day. And of course they won't last much longer. And there's the rose, and I'm not sure of its name, the red rose that just peeks around the corner. And when we first got here, none of this was here. It was pretty much, you could see to the back fence. The only thing, the fig tree was here, and then the big camphor tree that was 68 years old. Well, it wasn't 68 years old then, but this year it was. And in the middle here, I'll show you about, right in here they had a little water pool, but because of the camphor tree, the pump would never have worked, and it would just be a continual battle, and so we took it out. And then in this area, because they had it sort of a round area with stuff and the rest was grass, I planted a lot of lavender and blue and pink flowers. Well, one year it rained a lot here, and it took the lavender out. It just got too wet. And then when they did the tree, the blue flowers left. And now I can start all over again. And I sort of am enjoying that. The idea of I can replant or do something different. And over there, that's yarrow, and it's going to bloom pretty soon. And I notice I have, the common name is tick flower. Shoot, I can't remember the other name to it, but it's starting to bloom. Coreopus, maybe? I'm not sure. And so I just enjoy seeing this out my window. And I might as well take you around and I'm show you what I see out of my front window. Oh, and I don't know, can you see how tall that hollyhock has gotten? It'll be interesting to see what color it is. The one on the other side is a really, dark pink, reddish color, or reddish pink or something, very showy. And then the one by the airplane that comes up is just white. So it'll be interesting to see what that other one is. Okay, I'm going to take you around, and this is the evening when things are apt to get messy in the house. And my geraniums, of course, I love those, and they just bloom and bloom all year. This one is sort of struggling a little bit. I think it got overwatered, so we're going to have to not water it a few days and make sure it doesn't get any more water on it, even though it's going to be hot. Okay, here we go. And the front is completely different than when we first got here too. And I'll show you. Oh, could you let Maggie in, hun? I'll show you what I did today. This is acorn bread. Doesn't look very impressive, but it tastes good. Okay. And I know probably the sound is going to be too loud and then too soft. And okay, then my front yard now is roses. Roses, roses, and Mexican primrose. That's what's in the far corner over there, and it's evasive, and I love it that it is. And the first year that we were here, even before we moved in, I think I bought 2 plants. Maybe, yeah, I think it was just, I don't know, 2 or 3 plants of it. And it was in the backyard. And one day I decided I'd put it out front, in the front of the fence. And for years it had just been solid through there at this time of year. But this year it's pretty much only in that area. And so this is the front. And there's 2 kinds of the, this is not as dark. And it's not quite as evasive, but it is a little bit. And I like the way it spreads. And you can't see it, but over by my yellow rose, the sweet peas are beginning to blossom. And they're just, oh, and pretty soon the hydrangeas will start blooming. Let's see if I can, okay, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's one that started here, and believe it or not, it's having competition. But this one is usually quite lavender, almost like the porch rail lavender, and it looks really pretty with a porch. And that's the same rose as we have in the back. And some of them will be continual, and some of them will just bloom twice, so I don't know if this will bloom the same as the other one. This is what they call a flowering maple, which is really, it starts with an A, but the hummingbirds love this. Actually, they just go crazy for it. So I used to have quite a few plants, and I'm going to get more of them. They're not long living with me here, but they're worth getting more of just to have the hummingbirds. Okay, and that's all I'm going to show you in my yard. And the orange sort of rose out there just blooms and blooms and blooms. Oh, and my Mr. Lincoln. That's the red rose that you see over there. Oh, we have music. And my apples are coming on. Oh, we're even going to get reddish. They're a July apple. Last year I had enough to make a couple of pies. Maybe I made 3, I'm not sure. And there's Mr. Lincoln. I have 2 other red roses. We bought this one and we planted it in another spot, so it's been transplanted over into this yard. And in the other yard, on the other side of the fence, I think it's a Mr. Lincoln also. And that one was in the backyard, and then we moved it out there. But, oh, it smells so good. Oh, yes, yes. So this also helps feed me. And I'm just so thankful that God created the rose. So good evening. Enjoy your evening. Oh, I'm 74 tonight. I mean, the temperature. I wish I was 74. And Lois in Canada was freezing. Marie-Louise has over an inch of rain. And here we are at 74 in my rose garden. Good night.